right, we are back. Back with Live with Lisa. If you guys are here, hey, give me a quick comment. Let me know where you're signing in from. Welcome back. Live with Lisa continues today. We're past the halfway mark, and we are trying to get a deal in the next approximately 2 weeks is what we got left. If you're here for the first time, do me a favor, hit share this stream right now. We're getting so close. So close. We got a lot of stuff going on in the background. I'm excited to bring Lisa on board. We're both a little tired, actually. We're traveling, got stuff going on, got life going on. I just touched down in the next city I'm visiting here. So without further ado, let's bring Lisa on the call. Everybody give her some love in the comments and welcome.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here today and ready to work my butt off.
All right, good. Well, give us a quick recap. Tell us what we're doing today, Lisa. Let's jump right into it.
So a couple things that happened yesterday. Got lots of leads on private investors. If you remember yesterday, we worked on that script of what kinds of things to say, how to open the conversation, and how to really get to the meat of what they're looking for. So I worked on that script, and I think it went really well. In talking to all of them, they had great feedback, said, unfortunately, a couple of them said they couldn't help. And one of them just won't have capital to deploy when we need it. The second one said, thought that they could do a blanket mortgage for the property cost and the renovations, and that when we talked through it and looked at all the options, that wasn't going to work either. Even though they had some options, but at some point it doesn't make the deal viable or feasible. I think Ben had to drop off because he's having some connection issues. He'll pop back on, I'm guessing. And so I was working the phones last night and, on my lunch break and in the evening, I was working on those, talking to different private lenders. I feel like that script really made a difference in terms of my confidence, my ability to be clear about what I was looking for and to ask good questions of them. And they asked good questions of me. And so we were able to, build a connection for the future, I think, even if they couldn't help me. Both took the time to give me some specific advice on things to watch out for and things to look for in a reno or a flip like this. And one of them, although he could get me money at too high a level, like he said, it was too much money, too costly. The percentage was above 20%. So he said he wouldn't be doing his job if he recommended that option. And I appreciate that. I want people that are straight up and are going to give me the information I need. I'm not going to say that's not stressful because it is. And he, at the last individual, Aleem said to me that he thinks that the way to go for this deal is with a JV partner. And I was thinking about this last night. There's also another option, and that's to wholesale this deal. So we could look at wholesaling this deal, I think, because we did get it at a fairly good price. And we have some idea of what the renovations needed for the property are. So we could look at wholesaling it. And also I want to look at a JV partner. I've exhausted. I followed up with everyone who reached out, and I sent messages back asking for phone numbers, or if I had a phone number, I left a voicemail because I didn't get anyone in person. And I haven't heard back yet. So what's my option, Ben, now for a JV partner if I don't have anyone in my Rolodex? I just aged myself. In my contact list.
In my Rolodex. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, hey, first of all, I'm happy for you for what we're doing. We're really consolidating a lot of things into some very specific action steps. That's great. So let's just say you're brand new, you have zero in your Rolodex. Everybody on your Rolodex says, hey, get lost. So let's kind of go through that piece. So there's all kinds of investors and private lenders and people with equity all across Canada. There's an important piece here that we all need to understand is that we have to dig the well before we're thirsty. So if you're a brand new investor and you've never raised money, you've never done a deal, and you've never really built relationships, then you're starting off where, like, why most people get stuck in this business. They don't know anybody with capital, and even if they did, they don't even know how to ask the question. So what can we do? We have to start farming some relationships. So we want to put ourselves out there. We've got social media as an option. We've got communities like Cash Flow Tribe. There's thousands of people in CFD, thousands. Okay, so we need to reach out and go, hey guys, working on some deals, got some opportunities. Who's looking to connect? Who wants to get a deal done? That's the second component. The third one is this. The third one a lot of people don't utilize is the power of webinars and Facebook Lives.
Okay.
So you can go live and say, hi, I'm Lisa. I'm an investor. Here's some of the deals I'm working on. If you want to get connected with me, you want to know more about what I do, or you're in my town, want to go for a coffee, shoot me a DM. Let me know what's up. So we have to start farming. Most people don't have a good network. So, or they have a good network who actually has money, but they don't know how to have the conversation. Now, you have a massive advantage because you are in Cash Flow Tribe and you're connected with the mastermind. So I would always go there first. Not just for the people there, but remember, it's other people's money. That's people that you know and people that they know. We have to do a great job making sure that we have open dialogue with people that we know, saying, who do you know? This is where a lot of people, this is where the lazy bus comes in. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to do this and that. Okay, so your plan B then just go to work 9 to 5 for 5 years, save up all the money and pay for it yourself. Some people don't want to actually go through the exercises. The ones that do, this is the formula. The formula is you start with the list. I want you to take a list of 50 people that you know that probably have access to money. And the people who also, that they may know people have access to capital. Now you're saying, well, what's access to capital? Let me clarify real quick. Two kinds of investors in my mind. Two kinds of, let's just say, money lending partners that are private individuals. You have the accredited and the non-accredited. Here's the difference. Accredited investors typically have a 1.1 or higher $1 million net worth outside of their real estate, their primary residence. And they have a household income of $300,000, $350,000 a year or more. Those are accredited investors. Those are people who, for them to do a 50K deal or 100K deal, they're already sophisticated enough in the eyes of the government and the eyes where they can go ahead and just do deals. They have the capital and resources. Then you have the non-accredited. Non-accredited is everybody below that level. So the first question I say with people is, how do I raise money? Well, number one, it's way faster and more simple if you can just get to accredited investors. Now, if you say, well, I don't know any accredited people. I only know non-accredited investors. This is where we have to get smart, and this is where we have to start digging the well. This is where we have to start finding access to people who are accredited. This is kind of how this, like, mortgage brokers work. Mortgage brokers, they will have access to what we call B lenders. We talked about that last time. Have access to private. We call them wealthy individuals. They're just accredited people, right? So that's the gap. That's what you're paying a broker thousands of dollars for, is because they have access to people that are accredited. Your job is to gain access. Find those people. So I would instantly, so you're going live every day. That's a great start. I would ask your community to go, hey guys, who do you know? Step one, who do you know? Now, for you to do that though, we got to be really clear on something. You have to know what you are talking about, what you're presenting. You've got to have a very clear articulation of that deal so that people can invest with you. If you're bumbling through it and you don't actually know what you're saying, that's a big problem. So sales and then lead generation. Cool. Now, tell me this. How much do you need and what's the deadline? Let's get to the matter.
422.5 and 200K. And the deadline is August 31st.
Okay, cool. And then remember, we have our 4 different options here for how you can pull capital. We talked about those different choices. So out of those 4, can you give me some feedback and KPIs and what have we done and where are we with those 4 options?
Yep. So I looked at taking a second mortgage on the property in BC, but because of the current mortgage rules, what they said was after fees and everything, I would only net about $900 or $90,000 because of the 65% rule. So that's what they were.
Okay, so let's kind of go back to that real quick here. I'm going to pull up our little tab here. Okay, get everybody on the same page. Guys, can you hear us okay? And guys, give me some thumbs up if you can hear. Lisa, okay, everything is kosher over there, so we can jump into this data point here together. So you have a property,
Yep.
right? Let's kind of recap here real quick. So you have a property with how much equity? About 250, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now, somebody told you something. Who is this somebody? First, the very first question when people say people told me is who exactly, and are they an expert?
So this was a mortgage broker / private investor.
Okay, so one mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Told you what exactly?
That they calculated it and there's not enough equity based on the 65% rule that's out there. So basically I would net out after fees and everything about 90 to 92K.
Okay, so $90,000 in equity. Fine, cool. And at what rate?
15%.
Okay, so you can get $90,000 at 15%. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
Okay. What did the other mortgage broker say?
The other one said that there wasn't enough equity for them in either of our properties to make that worthwhile for them.
So they don't have a program where you can actually, so they have limited resources in terms of lenders.
Yeah, and he said that he couldn't meet the August 31st timeline.
Okay, so the deadline is the problem. Okay, deadline is problem, and then lack of resources. I'm going to share a quick secret with you here. When somebody tells you you can't, I want to be real clear because I grew up in a communist country. I do not accept communism. I want you to say that with me. I do not accept communism.
I do not accept communism.
Okay, here's how we do not accept communism. We trust, but we verify. Okay, so I love that you have 2 mortgage brokers. You need a third. This is what I want you to realize.
One.
Okay, hit me with number 3. What's he saying or she?
They're saying potentially they could fund the renos and the purchase price, but they want proof of funds for the down payment that they came from my account.
And how much is the down payment?
84.5.
Okay, so you have basically 3 different responses from mortgage broker. Okay, so let me just kind of explain this. So a mortgage broker is an independent business. If a broker tells you, or even a bank tells you, this is the rule and you can't, you have to get a second opinion. 100%, because what they might be saying without telling you the truth, I don't have the resources to do it. I'm actually too lazy to put in the work. This is more work than I actually want to do. And we don't have the resources. We don't have enough lenders. We already have too much inventory or too much of that kind of loan. We don't want any more of it. So when people say you can't, instead of you getting discouraged, option 2, option 3, option 4, because you have 3 very different responses here.
Oh, and there was a 4th option that will only fund $400K of the initial purchase at 15%. I think we might have lost Ben again. So while he's doing that, 2 of the mortgage brokers asked for scope of work for the reno, and a third asked for, or one of them asked for a full official quote from the contractor prior to agreeing to fund the deal. And in order to do that, I have to put down a deposit that's non-refundable of 20% with the contractor, and that's not feasible if the deal wasn't going to go ahead. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'll tell you all that the script that we worked on yesterday, 100% difference in confidence level. And I worked and got my numbers on the piece of paper, which is behind me somewhere, and was able to really get clarity on what am I asking for and how do I start the conversation with them. And then they just took it from there. So I didn't have to like write out all the answers to every question that they might ask, because most of it I knew the information. So it was much easier going in with that script. And so I imagine talking to a JV partner would be a potential JV partner would be the same with a script. So, you know, I think we all get nervous about that. And in hindsight, I probably would have done what Ben mentioned, which was fill the well first. So get those investors in place first. And that's one of the gaps that I would say that I had. I just kept going with some background while you were.
Love it. Love it. Hey, don't you love internet? Wi-Fi.
I do.
Dustin said, I'm in shock, so I completely froze. Okay, but I think I'm back now. Okay, cool. Well, we are here.
So I was saying there's a fourth investor said they would, private investors said they would come in with $400K towards the purchase of the property.
Love it. Okay. So where do we want to go from here? We understand we have kind of 4 options. They're very different options. Our job is to piece this puzzle together in a way that's intelligent for you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't expose you unnecessarily to somebody else's rules or protocol that may or may not be a good deal for you. So we got the 4. So they're going to fund $400K. Give me the terms on that real quick.
15%.
Okay, 15%. Great. All right. So all of these resources, did these all come from a broker?
Nope. They all came from different paths I had been following. 2 of them came from Drew, who's the realtor.
Okay, but is this first on a mortgage broker?
Yep.
Okay, and then who is this Deadline? Also a broker?
Nope, private investor.
PI. Okay. Oh, so that's a difference. Okay, this is a private. All right, cool. So their rules don't allow you. What about this?
Yeah,
this
mortgage broker.
Funds broker. That's a broker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And last
cool.
one, private.
And then what is this?
Private.
Private. Okay, so you have a couple of each here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about the next immediate step forward. By the way, the way that this kind of works is a German word called Schwerpunkt. It means you take all of your resources and you put it on one centralized focus of attack. So that's how I do all real estate transactions. When you see me get very specific, it's because I want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until I either see a crack and I can get through, or it's not a crack and we have to find an alternative route. But most people, they failed to push hard enough. So you got 4. 4 is a good start. Okay. So let's look at our options right now. Our options are, give me, as you see them, what do you believe the options are?
So there's 2 other things I would say. One is I have an appointment with the bank to try to get a HELOC on the property in BC, or to look at a refinance, which I don't think would happen in time, but then they may be willing to do a bridge loan or something like that.
Okay, good. All right, so this is one property. In your assumption, what's the bigger challenge here? Is it the property and the numbers on the property, or is it you and your personal financials? What do you feel is the bigger problem?
I think it's that I don't have enough of my own resources to deploy on this right now. And so I feel like I don't see where some of the options are. I don't know what the options are. I don't know where to go next. And the only path I can think of is a JV partner, because that would help with the cost of borrowing, but it would also, there's lots of paperwork and folks saying, I'm not sure we can meet that deadline. 3 of them said they could definitely meet the deadline. One is like, still waiting for lots of things that I won't have before the deadline.
Got it. Okay, cool. So we have our options. We have bank. We have, let's call it the secondary market. Secondary is going to be broker. Okay, cool. Then we have private lender. Okay. And then we have JV. This stands for joint venture for those of you guys that are home. Cool. And by the way, this is a lot of what we focus on when we're raising money, is understanding these buckets and how they serve you. So you had option one kind of here came from a broker. All right, cool. Secondary broker says, hey, this is one option, doesn't work for me. You had one private basically go, I don't have money. It's kind of what that is. I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I can't meet the deadline, yada, yada, yada. Again, that's their business problem, not your business problem. You get that, right? Okay, cool. And then number four, we have another private that says, cool, I can do 400,000, but it's at a rate of 15%. So let me just make sure everybody is on the same page. Can everybody understand? And do you understand this concept here, that there really are a few different choices here? What is the bank telling you as an option?
Well, they just basically didn't tell us anything, just set up an appointment.
Okay, so they're not going to really work fast enough on the front end.
I don't think so. We couldn't even get it. The earliest appointment they had was next Friday.
And this is why private lenders exist, right? This is exactly why private lenders exist and people do deals off market and raise millions of dollars in capital, is because the one product that most people rely on, which is the bank, cannot work fast enough or intelligently enough to serve us, right? They only work in their box, their protocol, their whatever. This is why most of the time on the front end, the bank is not a good choice. Now, we have two broker responses. We got to look at everything at face value, unemotional. We have one person that says you can have 90,000 bucks. Correct? So give me the terms of that. It's 15%. I get that. But what does that look like? So you have to purchase this property. Oh, this is a refinance of your existing deal?
No, it's a second mortgage on that existing property.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to work out a deal scenario. So we get a second mortgage for 90. And where can we get a first for, and how much loan to value?
Loan to value would be, it would be a 20% down, 80% loan to value.
Okay, so that's one option.
And that's from a different mortgage broker.
Cool. So here's what we need to figure out, okay? On this lender right here, I need to know what are the exact requirements for you to get this money. This is deal scenario one. Okay.
So even though he said I could do it, he was concerned about some BC requirements and whether they could do it, do that second mortgage when I need it. And he said, and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I get that. But again, I want to get very clear here. So he's willing to give a second mortgage for 90,000 bucks at 15%. Okay. When does that mortgage register? Right afterwards or at the same time?
I didn't know to ask the question, and he didn't. I don't think he said. I can follow up and ask him.
Definitely. We probably have on every deal, just so you know, most mortgage brokers are not creative finance specialists. Most lenders also are not creative finance specialists. In fact, most people are just not creative anything. They have a small little box. They answer the questions that come in the little box. And most people, frankly, don't want to think. So our job is to do the thinking. That's why we get paid. We get to build amazing real estate equity in these deals and long-term wealth generation because we're willing to think and solve problems that are not extremely obvious. Does that make sense? That's the value of mentorship, is that we have to push on these. So the questions we need to ask is, when does it register? Number one. What are the restrictions? Your personal restrictions. Don't not assumptions about. I don't know if
they would want to. They would want to put use my principal residence as well for
as a lien,
or whatever you call it. Security.
Principal lien. Okay, cool. And how much equity is in your principal residence, roughly?
About 150K.
Cool. So they're going to give you basically, let's call it 90 against 150. And they're going to give you a second. And so they're basically going to what's called cross collateralize. They will give you a second over here, but they will hold equity in the other one hostage at the same time, just in case you don't pay. What this does is this lowers their risk a lot. So just to be clear, they are not doing you any favors.
Yeah.
they should be thanking you for allowing them to do this kind of deal. It actually benefits them more than it benefits you, because now you have 150, which is now going to be encumbered as a second or a lien position on your primaries, and you're going to have a second actual registered mortgage on this subject property, which also creates an encumbrance, which means that they're going to lock up, let's call it 150 plus 90, approximately 240 or $280,000. Is that right? $240,000 is how much they're going to encumber across two properties for them giving you a 90K loan. So think of it almost like this. They're giving you 50 cents on the dollar of the present equity that you have.
Yeah.
So when I explain it to you that way, how do you feel?
I don't like it.
Okay. But it's not that scary though, is it?
It just sounds like, what's that?
It's no longer scary for you because you understand the scenario better.
Yeah. It's not scary because I believe that we could get this flipped and done and do it well. What I am concerned about is the cost of that. Oh, and I probably lost Ben again. So I guess in the comments, if any of you want to put, would you do this deal with that? And I remember I still have to look for another 110,000 from somewhere else. I think Ben's asking me, what about the cost of the deal? What is making me uncomfortable is that I'm paying 50 cents on the dollar for money that I already have locked up in my property. It doesn't concern me encumbering my principal residence because I believe we can get this flip done in a solid time frame and do it well and see a good profit from it. But the cost of borrowing when I still have 110 to find is a concern.
Okay, cool. I am back now. So they're kicking me off on and off here. They're trying to keep this deal down. It's the brokers. Yeah. I think the mortgage brokers have a hold of my Wi-Fi. And they're like, don't share the secrets. Don't give them all the facts. Okay, don't mentor too hard. A big secret I found in business and real estate is this one principle. It's not that hard, but it's going to be a little bit harder than you want it to be.
Yep.
If you think that and you keep that in mind, then you can really start to kind of work through some of these challenges a little bit. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to your document here because I want to make sure. And I know, guys, we're basically at time in a couple minutes. If you want us to keep going for a few, because I know that we're having some Wi-Fi challenges, give me a thumbs up. Let us know if we can go an extra few minutes to kind of capture some of this conversation here. So
I can go to maximum quarter after just because I have another meeting for work.
Beautiful. All right, so we got a second mortgage broker willing to do 90. So you said that the cost may concern you or otherwise, but this is a multi-component deal. Mm-hmm. So the first, okay?
Yep.
We can get a first now from the following: RSP. Okay. We can get a first from a bank. We can get, because I'm assuming here they're doing. What is the percent equity? What does 90,000 represent?
I think
of the total purchase price.
Oh, I will tell you. It's you mean of that plus the renos?
Well, are they giving you? See, you're bringing the renos into it a lot here. Let's keep the renos completely aside for a second.
Okay.
Here is the 90 for the
380
with renovation.
380 to 50 is oh, sorry. I'll do that math better. 90.
So just 90 divided by the purchase price.
Mm-hmm. I just turned off my calculator instead. 21.3.
Okay, so let's just say we got some math to work out. It's about 20%.
Yeah.
Right? So they're covering about 20% as a second mortgage, which means we're going to be able to bypass what? What are we going to bypass?
The concern from that one mortgage broker about where the funds came from.
Well, what entity are we bypassing when we put 20% down?
Oh, CMHC? I don't know.
The dang old CMHC with all their rules and regulation and sense and blah, blah, freaking blah, blah, right? We are bypassing CMHC. So now we get to go to a first lender and go, hey, we only need 80% loan to value. We only need 80% LTV. We already got a second in place. Keeping in mind that a first lender now, they're in first position. In the event of default or anything going bad, they get paid first. That's why they're called the first lender. They get paid first, and the second lender would get paid after them with any money left over. So the second is some risk. Listen, 15% for a second mortgage, guys, you need to understand when the rates have gone up is a pretty darn good deal. I like the fact that they're numbering you here and here, but at the same time, though, they're giving you liquidity over the, I don't know, I would give you 90K second mortgage, 50%. I can charge you, honestly, but not an institution. So we can now, we got to rephrase this, how we're doing this. Hey, hypothetically already have $90,000 in the second mortgage. Beautiful, great. What I need to do is get the 80% of the purchase price, which equates to how much? So your purchase price minus 80 grand is, or 90 grand.
225. $332.5. When I'm not on camera, I can do the math in my head.
That's actually what we need. We go to a RSP, we go to a bank, we can go to another broker. See, what we're actually doing is you are technically putting your own deal together. You're broker.
Oh, so
when
then
you're willing to broker your own deal for yourself, and you're willing to go and source your own first.
Yeah. And then that way you close on the deal, and then you have the opportunity to go back and figure out your who's going to pay for everything else.
Yeah. So our job is to close the deal and have a reasonable awareness about the renovation component. When you're a brand new flipper in this space, you might say to yourself, well, I'm so concerned about the renovation that I have to raise all the money at the beginning or no deal. And then what we do is we take all the numbers and we push them into one almost impossible scenario. Somebody has to give me the first and the second and the reno and the down payment and the closing cost and the deposit. Otherwise, I won't do it. Well, you're never going to do it. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Your job is to divide these ingredients. It's to unmix this soup and get the separate ingredients and start going, which ingredient can I fit into what slot? I got a second already. That's a celebration. That's not a negative. 90K sounds pretty good. Now I need 332.5. You feel me?
Okay.
If the deal actually has enough lift, meaning if the deal can actually be renovated and sold for a profit, finding the rehab cost isn't that difficult. As long as you're very confident in your numbers. If you're not confident in the data, though, that's where we start to get really hesitant. And what we're looking to do is we're looking for cash today to make us feel better, but there's no more guarantees that if you found the cash today versus finding the cash after you close, that you're going to make a profit on this flip.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also one other element here. So remember we talked about the horizontal approach? So we have a deal under contract. We have a deal. Let's just look at this real quick. I'm going to give you some advice here before we wrap up the call. So you have a deal and we're buying this. Remind everybody, what are we buying this deal for?
$422.5.
Okay. And what is it worth? What is it realistically worth in fair market value?
$474 is what the majority of similar properties are going for in that neighborhood.
$474. Okay. Good. So how much equity do we have?
We have 74. We have 52 in equity. 52.
Okay. We have 52K. Cool. That's what we can have 25. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So let's do this. So 52.5, and I know we only have a couple minutes left. So number one, we can take this deal right now and we could go, who would like to buy this deal from me? I have it under contract. I have it at $422.5. I'd be willing to let it go at some number that's a discount.
Yeah.
So what I like as a rule of thumb here, we look at the property here, we can literally call other flippers in your town and say, hey, what is the discount rate? At what discount rate is it a good deal right now? Are you buying today? Now, they change based on what the market does. So if the market drops 20%, maybe they want to buy at 30. If the market is super rock like hot and you can't find a deal anywhere, people just buy the deal at market value because they have a different purpose than you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to we need to find 3 flippers and ask them what a good discount rate is.
Okay.
Okay. Option 2. If we take the deal down, we can do what's called a wholesale. And we basically just mean we just add it to MLS.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do anything. If anything, we cut the grass, give it a quick clean. We don't do we literally throw it on the MLS, because if it's worth $474,
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. We're back. Technical difficulties. So 474.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it cost us something like, I don't know, 20 grand to close the deal. We can do the math on this.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 grand to close it, get a little bit dollars for 30 days, whatever the case is. That's going to be 454,000.
Yep.
Minus the 422, 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ish. What do we got here? We have about 30 grand, don't we? About $32,000.
Yep.
Now, commissions may eat into that. So maybe we're looking at a selling by owner type of scenario. So let me recap what I'm doing. I'm taking the property right away as soon as I have it under contract and I have the rights to this deal. I'm going to go, hey, if anybody wants to buy it at this price, I'm out. You guys can have it.
Okay.
I want to open up my exit strategies as soon as the deal is available to me. So I don't remember, my purpose is not to box myself in ever with real estate.
Yep.
Right? You're kind of boxing yourself into the financial thing.
Yeah.
And we can raise the money, but if it's way more stress than it has to be, then why don't we just flip this one, wholesale it, go and raise money for the next deal. Maybe the deal is the problem. Maybe the timing is the problem. Maybe you just don't have enough people in your world that know you yet. And that's also a very realistic problem. This is why everybody needs to be in a mastermind, because you got to kind of dig the well and build this infrastructure. Otherwise, this is why people get stuck and they don't do deals. They go, I don't have any money. Well, but you didn't do anything to ever have access to money either.
Yeah.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah.
Wholesale, then we can do the flip. So if it makes sense on the flip, it'll make sense on the first two. Let me say that one more time. If you and I can make money off flipping this deal, then we can make money wholesaling it. There's a very strong chance we can make money wholesaling it as well.
Okay.
So we can back our way into. So we've done the flip. Okay, cool. It works as a flip. Cool. Let's try the wholesale. Cool. Let's try the wholesale before we even get to the flip combo.
Okay.
This is the exact reason I'm telling you not to stress out about raising money for the flip, because what if we never even get that far?
Yeah.
Now, who would buy it as a wholesale? Somebody who's going to live there. Okay, so who buys hotels? Retail buyers and long-term landlords. Okay, those are the two kind of like bigger target audience. So you could do this. Take the deal. There's like probably 5 or 10 Facebook groups and pages in Canada where people just throw their deals. You have the deal under contract. As long as it's your deal and your name's on it. Hey guys, I have a deal. Who wants to partner? Who wants the deal? Who wants to do the work?
Yep.
What I would do is offer up everything you know about the deal so people can make an informed decision. Because other people, other investors have different economics than you do. Somebody may desperately be looking for a flip. Another landlord may be looking to maybe they just sold the deal and now they want to go buy another one and keep it for themselves long term. And they're like, oh, finally a good deal off market.
Okay.
So I'm always prepared to go wholesale, I'll do the flip.
Okay.
If the flip doesn't play out, now we're going to start focusing on our money mastery. And money mastery will allow us to refinance the deal, keep the deal as a rental or as an Airbnb. We have 5 different potential exits.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm opening up the dynamic of this conversation a bit. So there's 2 main things I want you to walk away with. Number 1, before we even get to the close of this thing, let's just see if we can pre-sell it.
Okay.
Okay. They pre-sell condos all the damn time. They haven't even built anything and they already took your money.
Yep.
Okay. And then number 2 is this. This is one of how many existing offers and deals do we have under contract? How many other ones do we have under contract?
I have one other one, but that's it.
Okay. So remember, we need to get, how many do we need to get under contract to fit our ratio?
10.
We got to get 10. So we can go ahead and get 5. Well, we got to make 10 solid offers.
Okay.
That we can attempt to go ahead and get 5 under contract.
Okay. Yeah.
that we can close one. So I'll work the numbers backwards. So if I only have one deal that's under contract, that probably haven't made offers on at least 10, have I?
No.
Okay. So what I would do is this. I want to open up your world a bit. If a deal becomes way too much work, you may decide the return on time doesn't justify keeping this as a long-term flip.
Okay.
This is my very last lesson, and then we're shutting it down for the day.
Okay.
A lot of people will do a flip that takes 6 months, and then they'll make 20 grand. And if I actually broke down the hourly rate, they made like $20 an hour doing a flip. That's a horrendous return on time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to take this property and instantly go ahead and put it out to market and make $5,000 or $10,000, giving it to another investor. And maybe you work 2 hours for 10 grand. What is that return on investment?
Okay.
On time.
Yep.
$5,000 an hour.
Okay.
So we have to be very mindful about return on time as it relates to return on investment. It's not just about the ROI.
Right.
ROT, right? ROT and relation ROI is the formula. For everybody listening to this call, if you're a person who really knows you're making $20 an hour, flipping houses or being a landlord, that is not the play. That's called a job. That is not a business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so final thoughts back to you. I know we're having Wi-Fi issues, but we're gonna conclude the call here.
Yep. Okay. So I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and then go for it. So I'll get all that done and report back to you tomorrow.
Can you give us an update on your dog? Because I know that that's part of the dynamic as well.
Yep. She was not good last night. I got her back from the vet hospital, and then she was unresponsive in the middle of the night when I checked on her. But she seems to be eating and drinking now, and you can see her there.
Hey, puppies.
She's perking up.
Okay, good.
So I'm hoping that's a sign that she's on the mend.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. We love the dogs, and we know life happens and gets in the way.
Yep.
And so folks at home, send her some love right now. We're so happy family's getting back. Dog's doing better. We can pick up some steam on the real estate side of things. So, okay. I
feel confident I can tackle this list and go through these things and know what to do.
And listen, you don't have to get overwhelmed. Scarcity enters when we run out of options.
Yeah.
In order for you to increase your abundance, what I do in my life is I increase the amount of options. That's how this works. Oh my God, I just have one deal. I'm so stressed. Go put 9 more offers.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That is the secret, right? Oh, my one lender said blah, blah, blah. Go get 10 more lenders and make sure that one becomes less significant in your life. Yeah. You know, this is a massive secret for me personally. As soon as scarcity comes in, I realize I don't have enough options. And if I don't have options, I need to go find more. And if there's something I don't know, I need knowledge. If there's somebody that I don't know, I need proximity to people. If there's resources I don't have, proximity to people. Again, people have what you want. We have to increase our available options so that we can decrease our overall stress about one component of the deal. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I want you to go,
Yeah, and even if you apply it to this process, the velocity has meant that you can't hyper focus on one aspect of the deal.
Deal making is like, there's not just one deal. There's 100 deals we could do at the same time. Our job is this: preserve our energy and our attitude. And our job is to make sure that we're hitting these key performance indicators. If we need 10, we got to hit 10.
Okay.
If we got to get the 5 under contract, get the 5 under contract. Because then the other thing is now we make them compete. And we tell the seller, we tell the broker, we tell the agent, we tell guys, I have 5 more I'm working on. You need to get your stuff together. Yeah. Get your stuff together so we can do a deal. It's literally the ball is in your court. Yeah, but Lisa, we have to do all this crap. Well, then you're not a good fit for me because you're way too slow, or you don't have enough resources to serve me as a customer. That's your problem, not mine. I want a salad and you sell burgers. Just tell me you sell burgers. Don't tell me that salads don't work. Right? Yeah. These are the rules. They're not the rules. Those are your rules because you don't have a program for me. That's fine. But I need to know. That's why I need you to have 4 options, 5 options, and go, no problem. So when we come back, we go, hey, Ben, this one said this one said this one said this one said this. I'm going to work with the second lender here. And now we're going to need to find a first lender here. And this is how I'm going to do my second equity on my property. And if I can't do any of that stuff because money seems to be the challenge right now, I'm going to wholesale this sucker, make $5,000 and go on to the next deal.
Yeah.
Let's go find a better deal where the financing isn't as complicated or difficult for.
Okay.
Remember, we're digging the well here, sister. So we're kind of jumping in the deep end, and I threw you the life raft at the same time.
Yep.
This is why people don't get over this like newbie hurdle. It's because it takes a lot of energy and focus and clarity, and you're solving 3 or 4 complicated things at once. But it doesn't have to be hard for people. They just need to get super focused. And you are doing that a great job.
On what the options are. Yeah.
You got it.
Great.
Okay, my friend. Well, hey, we will see you tomorrow. Folks, we're getting close. Can you feel it? Lisa, can you taste it?
I can.
Getting close. I think we're getting there. I think a little bit more, and we'll be able to hit that target pretty soon. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, back in the same place. Both of the Wi-Fi doesn't keep trying to kill us. They can take us down. Like Rocky Balboa in this thing. Peace out. Great job. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's keep it rocking. Those at home, this is shared. You can join us online at untitled.com and be part of our community. Totally free for you guys to do that. And you can connect with us on Facebook, Cashflow Tribe.